Good morning, learners. Numbers, Operations and Relationships, Term 2, Book 2, page 1. Count objects by using grouping. Now, I've got 3 pictures and I have to first of all do 3 things. I need to know what are the multiples, what are we counting in? Or then we need to know how many groups there are. And the third thing, how many objects. So let's look at picture number 1. I can see that there are 4 poles. So we are counting in multiples of 4. In picture number 2, I can see 6 poles in a group. So we're counting in multiples of 6. In the third picture, a whole bundle of poles tied together, there are 10. So we're counting in multiples of 10. That's the first part. We need to understand what multiples are. We're counting in. The second part to these sums, you need to know what is grouping. So let's see how many groups of 4 poles do we have. So we count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are 20 groups. So to do it as a multiplication sum, we say 4 times 20 equals, so we say 4 times 2 is 8 and we write it down. 4 times 0 is 0. So that is 80. 80 objects are counted in the first one. Do you see how easier using multiplication is than having to count each individual pole? Let's look at the second picture. We said we're counting in multiples of 6. How many groups can we count of 6? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 6 times by 10 groups, which is equal to, when we say we times by 10, we take the number and we add a 0. So it is 60 objects. So much easier than having to count each one. Let's look at the last picture. We've got bundles tied up and they are grouped in groups of 10, multiples of 10. How many of these groups can we count together? Count with teacher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So there are 22 groups of 10. So we write it as 10 times 22 groups. Now remember when we said we times any number by 10, you take the number and we write it down, 22, but we've got to add a 0 to it. So it's 220 objects. On page 2, describe, order and compare whole numbers. So we have been given a graph and we have to fill in the missing numbers. As you can see, I've put in the missing numbers on the screen in yellow. So let's start. 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210. 211, 212, 213, 214, 215, 216, 217, 218, 219, 220. As you can see, we go from 201 all the way to 250. I'm not going to count each one, but you got the idea. Now number A. Which number comes between 236 and 238? So I've highlighted the keywords there, between and the two numbers. So we find the numbers on the chart. You find 236, put your finger on it, and 238. The number that comes in between them, I've highlighted in blue, is 237. Okay, number B. What number comes before 240? So the keywords there, before 240. Put your finger on 240, move one bunny hop back. What is the number? It's 239. Okay, number C. Which number? Keywords, 7 more than 223. So 7 more makes us think we've got to add. 223, put your finger on that number, make 7 bunny hops, and you land on 230, which I've marked in grey. Number D. What number is 9 less than 250? The key word there, less, means minus. So you take the number 250, you minus 9, and it comes to 241, which I've made in navy on the chart, 241. And number E, what number is equal to 2 H's, 2 hundreds, plus 4 tens, and 5 units? So we take the numbers and we break it up. 2 H's is 200, 4 ta is 40, and 5 a is 5. Put it together, 245, which I've highlighted on the chart in green. On page 2, okay, number operations and relations. Let's look at number F to J. Now, what is half of 210? When you see the word half, you know that you need to divide by 2. So let's break the number 210 up into hundreds, tens, and as we can see there's no units, we're not going to do units today. So we say 200 divided by 2 plus 10 divided by 2. So 200 divided by 2 is 100, plus 10 divided by 2 is 5, and that comes to 105. You don't find the number on your chart, but we found an answer using the 210 that was on the chart. Now number G, what is the multiple of 5 before 240? Keyword, We're counting in fives, and the keyword there before 240. So you've got a minus, so you say 240 minus 5 is 235, and I've made it blue on the chart. Number H, what is the multiples of 2 after 232? So we're counting in twos, and we have to take 232 and add 2 to it to get our answer, which is 234. That's correct, and I've made it brown on the chart. Number I, what is the odd number before 237? So you put your finger on 237. Now remember the keyword odd. We know odd numbers, they end with a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 9. But they've already given us a clue. They said it must be before 7. So if we look on those numbers, 5 comes before. So 235 is the number in blue that we're going to be looking for. Number J, what number is equal to 2 hundreds in words plus 25 units? So let's break it up into numbers. 2 hundreds plus, now 25 units. Remember, you can't have the 20 in the 5's house. You've got to push him over to the 10's column. So it's 20 plus 5. So 200 plus 20 plus 5 is 225. Okay, we see. Now we're going to do K to O. Using the number chart, complete. 230 is bigger than 225. So we're going to have to minus those two numbers to find out what is the missing number. Put your finger on 230 and you can minus 225 to get your answer. Or put your one finger on 225 and the other finger on 230 and see what is the difference. To get from 225 to 230, what did I have to do? I have to add 5. You could do it either way, minusing or plusing to get to your answer of 5. Number L, please fill in smaller than, bigger than, or equals. Now they're giving you 234, a space, and then 200 plus 40 plus 3. So let's write it out in words. 234 compared to 243. Yes, 243 is bigger. So the crocodile mouth must be facing towards the bigger number and its tail towards the smaller number, as you can see on the screen. Number M, please arrange in descending order. Now when I descend a mountain, I'm going from the top of the mountain downwards. So I've got those numbers and I've marked them in blue on the chart so it's easier to see. We gave you the number 214, 240, and 243. So which one's bigger? Yes, 243. Then 240, and then 214. Well done, learners. Number N, please arrange in ascending order. Ascending means we are going up the mountain. They've given you 3 options, which I've marked on the chart in purple. 209, 219, and 229. Now looking at what is the smallest number? Yes, it's 209. We're counting in tens. 219 is the next one, and the third one is 229. Well done. And the last one, the difference between 233 and 229. Find those 2 numbers on your chart and move your fingers. 233 minus 229. So we could move bunny hops between those 2 numbers. Put your finger on 233 and you minus how many spaces? Yes, you have to minus by 4 to get to 229. Or you could have done it the other way. You could have said 229 and then moved your fingers. You had to move 4 bunny hops, so plussing 4 to get to 233. All right, well done, learners. We have completed page 2 of the booklet. See you tomorrow.